How are y'all doing today?
What's up, young lady? Look at you. How are you? You got the sun hitting you right, huh? I see you.
Yes,
Okay.
I had to make sure. I positioned the
Okay.
laptop here. The sun is coming in. So I
Nice.
worked out.
Okay.
Okay, so talk to me about The Wire, the show, what you guys love most about it, and its impact so far.
Yes, 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 and yes. I mean, I'm thank you for asking questions and speaking about The Wire 20 years later. That shows its impact. That shows that it still carries weight and it's still hitting people in a certain way. I think it's beautiful that The Wire was one of the first shows that really took our narrative and showed Black people or just people in that class system in a more honest way or a truthful way that people, the audience, related to, thought was authentic. So it's really about the audience. It's really a bravo that the audience keeps it going and keeps speaking about it and keeps saying that it's the type of show that they want to watch over and over again. I was surprised by it. So thank you. We appreciate you guys for speaking on the show so highly.
You're so welcome. How about you, Jamie?
I mean, just to be a part of something great, be a part of a show surrounded by great actors, the effect that it had on me, truly, the relationships that I kept afterwards. I mean, this is not the only time that myself and Andre speak. We speak all the time, me, him, Sonia, Linda, Chad, Lance, you name it. All of these actors that came off of this show. So now 20 years of this show and being a part of something great is a testament to the relationships that we built also, including David, right, and Nina, and Debbie Young, you name it. We created and cultivated relationships. That also really had an effect on the audience. They went out something changed the narrative of how we are seen. You cut on HBO and you see like a whole lot of actors that you haven't seen before that are doing great work on a show that's a great story, on a network that people respect. And you turn back to it again, maybe again next week. I was enjoying it. I was a fan while watching it. I was a fan while I was on it.
So for both of your characters, they are both people that, like you said, are members that we tend to see within our community. So how does it feel playing characters that you feel tend to be flawed or like kind of misrepresented?
It's a great it's a great responsibility. I mean, as artists, we always want to do shows to entertain. I mean, that's the actor's mindset: entertain. Make people laugh, bring some joy to people's lives, and then all of a sudden you get an opportunity to speak on or speak in behalf of certain people that don't get shine or don't get love or don't get treated as a three-dimensional person, but just a characteristic aspect of themselves are being shown on TV. So with that responsibility, it was humbling to know that HBO was allowing us to portray it and that people speak on it to this day. When somebody says, yo, Bubbles is my favorite character and still remember his name. And this is not a superhero character. This is not James Bond. This is a guy dealing with addiction, but it resonated so much that people still remember that journey, that arc. And for me, again, that just shows that the audience, has a thirst for watching and being a part of humanity and caring for one another. And we had a chance to do that and be a part of that when we watched HBO The Wire, because we saw people that we saw in the street, but maybe not pay attention to, but we saw them every Sunday in our living room.
Absolutely. And what Dre just now said, watching people and being a part of people that appreciated and respected us, right? Based on the work that we're doing, because one thing that we know is that everybody's dealing with some level of flawedness, right? We're flawed, right? And being able to experience that and do it in a way where people appreciate it and say, you guys got it right, it was great. It was great because, when you become a part of a character that seems to be squeaky clean or has everything pegged correctly, you always want to peel back the onion and say, what's really wrong with this dude? for this girl? What's really going on in that head? What's really happening in your personal and intimate life, right?
Yeah.
Why they put it right there on Front Street for you? This is what's going on in the mayor's office. You think he got it right, he doesn't. So just being able to be a part of something so big, it's a wonderful feeling, man.
Mm-hmm. And very quickly before we head out, like, what do you hope for audiences in the future who haven't tuned into the show now but hear about it later, hope to get out of watching it, the series?
I hope they get to see some fantastic, wonderful acting, and they want to see us in all type of other shit after that, and be like, I want to see them in more movies because they were phenomenal. That's what I want.
I was 2 weeks ago, I was on a corner having a conversation with a friend of mine in Dumbo. And this kid, he was probably 20, 21, 22 years old. And okay, so I know you don't have much time, but this was after the shootout occurred in Buffalo. And after the shootout occurred in Buffalo, I'm having a conversation with a friend of mine, he's an attorney, his name is Keith White. And I'm like, man, you know what, man? I feel like I have to do something different, man. I really feel like I want to study law. I want to start prosecuting some of these cats, right? And he's a lawyer. He's telling me, bro, what you're doing is affecting more people than what we can do in terms of the arts. Mm-hmm. And as he says this to me, I'm like, for real? He's like, trust me. This kid walks up, he's 21. He's like, hey, what's going on, man? My name is, he shared his name. He said, I'm 21 years old, so I couldn't watch The Wire when I was younger. I'm from the suburbs. A Black kid, right? Mm-hmm. African. That I had no idea. I had no idea that existed. That I was very judgmental against people like Bubbles or the kids in season 4. He's like, there's no one that could have told me that this was a true story until I watched The Wire and did my research, which changed everything for me, changed the courses that I'm taking in college, changed what I chose to study, my empathy, my compassion for the community. He had no idea it existed. So he answered the question for me, right? The question for me, which was like, I feel like I have to do something else because this Buffalo thing really affected me. And he answered the question, the work that you're doing is enough. Just keep doing the work at a high level, right? And hopefully it'll affect people the way it just did.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Jamie and Andre, thank you guys so much for your time. Congratulations on everything, The Wire. It is indeed successful. People are tuned in. We enjoy. Best of luck to everything and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
You too, sweetheart. Take care.
So, as we know in the series, cops and detectives tend to work together hand in hand. So how was it like building that on-set chemistry?
It's simple because we're actors. So we just worked very well together. Yes, it was more working. It was more actors working with police that was probably more interesting for all of us, I think, rather than trying to make this story work for ourselves. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, going off of what you said about what you mentioned with police, how do you feel that police officers responded to the characters that you played?
On a personal level, like cops that have come up to me on the street, it's been pretty universally appreciated. I can't think of. I mean, I've read one or two comments by like police chiefs that didn't appreciate the show, but for the most part, rank and file police officers and even detectives that I've met really appreciated the reality of the show. And not just that it was accurate, but that it showed how hard the job is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would agree.
How do you feel that the audience responds to detectives in the show?
How do we feel they respond to the? I think they liked us all.
Mm-hmm.
I think they liked us.
Yeah, I think people are grabbed by the story and the characters, as well as, part of it is, do they see their work being reflected accurately, and do you feel like the show is telling their story in a way? And I think I heard from, like Lance and Clark, I hear from police officers just on the street who say they really enjoy the show. But I get the sense also it's it must be hard for some of them because of the dark underbelly that's shown on the show. But also they're just like any other viewer. They're just eating up this great storytelling, this great plot, these great characters across the board.
And for each of you, what would you say that your character has taught you?
Patience.
That's a question I've never thought about. Mm-hmm. But because I feel like what I learned from Daniels was the power of integrity. Mm-hmm. Because he was a company man who actually eventually became his own man as the show went on.
Yeah, I would say my lesson from Prez was to think about the people, not about the job. It's the relationships and the connections that are the most important. It can be easy to get lost in the day-to-day, but if you stay true to who the person you're looking at across the table, that's going to pay off.
Mm-hmm. Lastly, very quickly. Oh, go ahead, Clark. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just threw out patience there very, very quickly, but I think that it is as well that patience allows me to step back and take a look at something in its entirety, and I think that that's what I got from Freeman, and how to really be critical and analyze something in depth. Just don't look at it on the surface. Look underneath,
I heard a wise man once. I once heard a wise man say, "All the pieces matter."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that too. Yeah, I think that one stuck with me. And following the money, that I look at the world today, and I just figured, that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yes. Boy Tang, are you from Ghana?
Yes, I am.
Awesome.
Akwaba.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Same with you. Have you been?
Medasi.
Yeah, you got it.
Clark's got a big Ghana connection. I've got a little one. It's nice to see somebody from Ghana.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Well, I have to go now, but it was nice. It was nice meeting all of you. Happy anniversary and good luck to you guys in the future.
Thank you very much. All the best.
Have a good one.